That is it. So they just copied our tradition, took the spirituality, the practicality out of it, and brought us the theory that we should read this and raise our hands and pray. We'll get what we want. So you pray and you won't get anything. So when they created Christianity and saw that there was enormous wealth in creating religion, they sent a Catholic nun who went to Arabia, settled there, changed her name into Khadija. Khadija is not from Saudi Arabia. The prophet
Muhammad's wife. Khadija, who helped the husband to identify the angel of God.
That was why she was quick to accept Islam. Khadija was sent by Romans. She was a Catholic nun, and they sent her there. They sponsored her. That's why they said she was rich, and she was a businesswoman. She stayed there, learned their language, learned everything, their culture, tradition, changed her name, and she became one of them. And a lot of men came and proposed to Khadija, and she rejected them. They told her that she should look for a young guy who has valor and who is somewhat adorable and righteous, so that they will make him a prophet. So recently, one of them said that there will never be another Messiah unless they create him. Just white people, they can do things that you can never imagine.
And what can we do?
What we can, you see, they saw that our power is our brains. So they said they should damage our brains. That is why they caught the children, sent them to the mission houses, taught them only the Bible, and they grew up. So when they grew up, they don't know what is management, they don't know what is economics, they don't know what is their history, they don't know who is God. When they say God, we don't know who actually is God.
Continue from Khadija, please.
You go. So Khadija went there, stayed there, and chose that guy. He was not even called Muhammad, because there was no Muhammad prior to the Quranic Islam. Muhammad is not an Arabian name. Any Malam who comes here asks them, was somebody called Muhammad before Prophet Muhammad? Muhammad is an African name, so we have different versions. When it comes to Gunja, we have Mamadu, Mahmuda, Mahmudu, Mahami, a lot, Ahmed, Ahmadu. It is African name, so they gave him that name. Muhammad was made to come to Egypt and study. And after he was initiated to become a Christ, he was given the name Al-Amin. Means the trustworthy.
Nana ni din da the science obenya Al-Amin.
I don't know.
But none of Muhammad.
We are still digging.
Hey.
That name Amun was the Amin. So Al-Amin is a name of a god.
Hey.
So Khadija linked up to the Romans, and who went and told Muhammad's uncle that little that young boy you are moving with, you travel to Syria or wherever, he's a prophet, so take him home. If not, when this was discovered, they will kill him. It was a Catholic monk. We call them fathers. The nuns, we call them sisters in Ghana here. But the real name is Catholic nun, that's the females, and the Catholic monks. It was a Catholic monk who went from Rome. They traced them up, and he just approached and said, hey, my brother, I can see that you're working with a very great person.
No, Munim Dada. Khadija, my informations.
And these same people came and told her Muhammad is the greatest person to ever walk the face of this earth. He was a warrior, he was this, he was that. No, he lied to us to throw our adultery away, to come and worship idolatry.
Idolatry in disguise.
In disguise. So he killed a lot of people, said Allah commanded him to kill them because they were worshiping idols. And finally coerced them to come and worship an idol. And he said all the previous prophets were Muslims and they worship Allah. When you go to the Bible, all the prophets were priests. We don't have anything called prophets. When you go to Genesis 8, verse 7 to 9, Noah burnt an offering on an altar after they went out of the ark. And when the aroma entered Yahweh, he was pleased and said, I won't destroy the world again. Which creator will do this? The creator of this universe is asking for animal sacrifice. All the animals in the house, domestic animals, and in the wild, in the sea, he created them. What is he looking for them for? When you go to the Quran, a lot of places offer sacrifices, offer sacrifices, offer sacrifices. And when you want to slaughter, you must recite the dua in Arabic language. After that, they will come and tell us that Allah, who is the creator, understands every language. So, Bismillah, that means in the name of Allah. Allahu Akbar. Allah is great. In the name of Allah, the greatest, that I slaughter this sacrificial lamb. So, Allahumma min walika walika from my heart. Why don't you say this thing in English if you are an Englishman? Why don't you say this thing in Twi? Like, Owurade Nyankopɔn akɛseɛ wo din mu nti na me eku aboa we. Efiri makomo me fitaa. When you say that, there's nobody called Owurade. In Gonja, we call him Abore. When you say Abore, there's nobody called Abore. If you say God, it is in your name that there's nobody called God. So what Chwagu? It's like here, African idolatry. If you don't mention, do you have a God in this, then any idol in this community, the name? Let's say Bochorwa. If you don't mention Bochorwa's name, Bochorwa can come and take. And they said before you become a Muslim, you say La ilaha illallah. It means there's no God except Allah. If you are saying it in Arabic, say it in Arabic. When you are saying it in English, say everything in English. So there's no God except God. What's the meaning of this? Onyami bi eni just onyami. And for centuries, no single Muslim on the African continent, scholar, has been able to
ask that question.
Because they say, catch them young and they shall be yours forever. So the little children who are going to the Khartoum, I was going. I nearly completed the Quran. Then I went to school. Then later, because of my research, I discovered that no, there's something wrong. And not just the research alone. I look at the lives of my people, and I ask a lot of questions. I say, what kind of Allah that we are worshiping from childhood to our old age? Then the person will be so impoverished. His only asset is his small hat, jalabia, and the small trouser with his cassava legs inside it. We can't build for our children. We can't take care of our wives. We can't take care of our children. So they are stealing, they are armed robbers. Others are fornicating, teenage pregnancy, and the Zongo community is filled, broken homes, everything. What kind of Allah are we worshiping? There is something wrong that we need to figure out, and that is the secret. So they created Islam, Romans. They went. So after they created Islam, they used the black people to create the Islam, and they have to conquer that land. So they went and settled there, studied their language, stayed there for a long time, and they were eliminating the black people gradually. The same thing they did in Argentina. You see, the Argentina national team, there's no black amongst them. They secretly murdered all the black people. Because the South Americans are all black people. Even the whole of America, North America, we're black people. They murdered about 100 million blacks during that time, the Native Americans, and took over that continent. Australia, the same thing. Every land on this earth, every country, every town was established by black people.